This is the original blade guide rollers, and I'm going to continue using that for these two cuts that I'm going to do here right shortly. These are the ones I'm fabricating. This will be the stationary one behind the blade. This is going to end up being the blade guide on top and bottom of the blade. These two will be mounted over here on this right side on that plate right there. And eventually I'm going to cut that plate out of there just to give me a wider throat. The original blade guide goes in here, and the only thing I've got to do in order to get this back far enough is got to take a little notch out of this right here, and then I can gain another couple inches of throat. But after measuring it to cut these logs for the cabin that I need to do real quick, I can mount these up rather easily and make those cuts. Now, I thought about making those cuts with this thin blade, and I probably can, but I went online and ordered some blades from Southeast Metals. These are much more apt to cut those logs easier. The only thing that is an unknown right now is whether this 3/4 horse motor will pull those. And of course I'm going to put a gas or diesel engine on this saw to begin with. Doesn't matter. But if I can make these two cuts with that electric motor, and then that'll get me out of a bind right now, and then I'll put a jack shaft and mount an engine over the top here somewhere, or behind, to give us the horsepower I really want for this thing. Doggone Stick Supervisor, what are you doing over here? I don't want to play stick with you. What a dinglebutt. So I did put a new off and on switch on this thing, and let's get these blade guides on here and see if this thing's going to cut some wood. We've only got half the bed lined up here and ready to go, so I'm going to have to spend a little more time getting these done. I found out that one of the timbers I put across here is skinnier than the rest, so I'm going to go down and gather up a couple more of those to fix that. And then I also have to build these couplers to couple the angle iron together here. That's going to be another project today. I had to invert that blade because the saw runs backwards to a lot of the way a lot of sawmills run. And I'm not sure that I'm going to keep it going that direction in the future when I get the gas engine and stuff mounted to it. We'll see. As I was turning this over, I noticed a funny noise. I thought the blade was hitting something, but it's not. This cover is missing a screw. So I guess I'll get a 1/4-inch bolt to put in that, take care of that problem. It's temporary. Like I said, I'm going to cut the bottom of this back a little bit, but I'll make it a little more easily adjustable blade roller. This is probably the only one I'm going to put on for a second. I'm going to take some test logs and try this, make sure it doesn't drift. And I'll put the original back on this side. I haven't done that yet, but that's coming next. This factory blade adjuster has a lot of different adjustments on it. I kind of like that. Had I gone with an 1.5-inch blade instead of an 1.25-inch blade, though, it would not have worked on this at all. I'm totally backed off on the pusher side of this, and if it had been anything over 1.25 inches with the blade, it would not have worked. So I'm going to do my test logs. I've got a couple short pieces of log from the cabin that I brought down, and we'll test them on this. Right now I've got an opening of about 16 inches wide, and I technically need 19 inches, but I think 16 might do it. We'll try it. A little bit of a challenge to do by yourself. But as usual, it always works out.